Around the 7th century BC, in a kingdom called Lydia, located in what is now modern-day Turkey, the first true coins appeared. These were small, bean-shaped lumps made of a natural alloy of gold and silver, called electrum. They were stamped with simple designs, like a lion's head, which was the symbol of the Lydian kings. This was honestly a revolutionary idea. Before this, people traded with objects, livestock, or chunk of metal that had to be weighed for every transaction. These new coins had a guaranteed weight and purity, backed by the king's authority, making trade simpler and way more trustworthy for everyone involved in commerce. These early coins were not just practical tools for buying and selling goods. They were miniature billboards for the rulers who issued them. Kings and emperors quickly realized they could put their own portraits on coins. This sent a powerful message across their lands and beyond. A coin with a ruler's face on it was a constant reminder of who was in charge. It was a way to spread their image, their authority, and their legacy far and wide. For many people in the ancient world, the image on a coin might have been the only picture they ever saw of their emperor, making it a direct connection to the heart of power. As civilizations like Greece and Rome grew, their coinage became incredibly sophisticated and beautiful. The Greeks, with their mastery of art and sculpture, created coins that are still considered masterpieces today. They featured detailed images of gods, goddesses, and mythical creatures. The famous Athenian owl tetradrachm is a perfect example of this artistry and symbolism. The Romans used their coins to celebrate military victories, commemorate the building of great structures like the Colosseum, and honor members of the imperial family. These coins were a form of mass communication, telling the story of the empire one small metal disc at a time. Even in these ancient times, some coins were more special than others. A coin might be rare because it was part of a small, limited issue. Perhaps it was a special commemorative piece struck for a significant event. Or maybe it was made from an unusually pure metal, or featured an exceptional design. People began to notice these differences. They would set aside the more interesting or beautiful coins, not to spend, but to keep. This was really the very beginning of coin collecting. It started with a simple appreciation for the history, artistry, and story that a small piece of metal could hold within its design. The practice of collecting coins for their artistic and historical value, rather than just their monetary worth, is a tradition that has been around for centuries. It's often called the hobby of kings for a good reason. During the Renaissance in Europe, a period of great revival in art and learning, many wealthy nobles and scholars began to systematically collect ancient Greek and Roman coins. They saw these coins as direct links to the classical world they so admired. The Italian scholar and poet, Petrarch, who lived in the 14th century, is often considered one of the earliest and most famous coin collectors of this era. He was fascinated by the portraits of Roman emperors on ancient coins. This hobby flourished among the European elite. Kings, queens, and emperors assembled vast and impressive collections. Emperor Maximilian I of the Holy Roman Empire was an enthusiastic collector. So were many of the popes in Rome. These collections were not just personal treasures hidden away in a drawer. They were symbols of culture, education, and immense prestige. A well-curated coin cabinet was a sign that its owner was a person of great learning and sophisticated taste. These early collectors were the pioneers who helped preserve countless historical artifacts that might otherwise have been melted down and lost to history forever. The 18th and 19th centuries saw coin collecting, or numismatics, become a more scientific and organized pursuit. Scholars began to study coins not just for their beauty, but for the historical information they could provide. They wrote detailed catalogs, researched minting processes, and used coins to learn about ancient economies, political events, and forgotten rulers. This was the period when great national coin collections were established, such as those in the British Museum in London and the Bibliothèque Nationale in Paris. The hobby started to become more accessible to the growing middle class, not just the ultra-wealthy royalty of the past. With the birth of the United States, a new chapter in coin collecting began. Americans started to take an interest in their own nation's coinage. At first, this meant saving one of each type of coin that was issued by the new United States Mint. People saved the large copper cents, the early silver dollars, and the first gold eagles. As the country grew, so did the hobby. Coin clubs were formed, publications were printed, and a community of collectors started to take shape. This growing interest laid the foundation for the massive and passionate collecting community we see today, where a simple hunt for a rare date can turn into a lifelong passion. The world of rare coins is filled with dramatic moments, and nowhere is this more evident than in the auction room. This is where history is made, where fortunes are spent, and where the true value of a numismatic treasure is finally revealed. For decades, auctions have been the primary stage for the sale of the world's most important coins. The tension in the room is palpable as collectors, dealers, and investors from around the globe compete, often in person or over the phone, to own a piece of history. The sound of the auctioneer's hammer falling signifies not just a final sale, but the beginning of a new chapter in a coin's long and storied journey. One of the most legendary series of auctions was the sale of the Louis I. Elias Berg Sr. collection. Elias Berg was a Baltimore financier who achieved something no one else ever has. He assembled a complete collection of United States coins. He had one of every date and mint mark combination ever issued. When his collection was sold in a series of auctions from 1982 to 1997, it was a monumental event. The sales generated a total of over $45 million, a staggering sum at the time. Collectors eagerly awaited the chance to acquire coins from this once-in-a-lifetime collection, and many of the coins set new price records that stood for years. More recently, the D. Brent Pogue collection auction set the collecting world on fire. Sold in a series of 5 auctions between 2015 and 2017, this collection focused on the highest quality United States coins from the early years of the mint, from 1792 to the 1830s. The coins were simply the best of the best, each one a perfect specimen. The total sales for the Pogue collection soared past $100 million, making it the most valuable coin collection ever sold at auction. This sale proved that the market for ultra-rare top-condition coins was stronger than ever, with new collectors and investors willing to pay unprecedented prices for the finest known examples. These landmark auctions do more than just transfer ownership of rare coins. They bring incredible attention to the hobby of numismatics. The headlines about record-breaking sales capture the public's imagination and introduce a whole new audience to the world of coin collecting. They show that these small metal discs are not just old money. They are highly sought-after works of art and important historical artifacts. The drama and excitement of a major auction can inspire new collectors to start their own journeys, hoping that one day they too might find a hidden treasure worthy of the auction block. Imagine holding the very first silver dollar ever struck by the United States of America. That is the magic of the 1794 flowing hair dollar. This coin represents a pivotal moment in the nation's history. After the Revolutionary War, the young country needed to establish its own identity and its own monetary system. The Coinage Act of 1792 authorized the creation of the United States Mint in Philadelphia and the production of the nation's first coins. On October 15, 1794, the mint delivered its first batch of silver dollars. Only 1,758 coins were successfully struck that day, and it's estimated that only about 130 of them survive today. The design of the coin is simple yet powerful. The obverse, or head side, features a portrait of Lady Liberty with long flowing hair. This image was meant to symbolize freedom. The reverse, Yowie Store tails side, shows a rather slender eagle surrounded by a wreath. While the design might seem a bit crude by today's standards, it was a bold statement for a new nation eager to prove its independence on the world stage. Each coin was struck on a hand-operated screw press, meaning that every single one is slightly different. This individuality adds to the charm and historical importance of these remarkable coins. For over 2 centuries, these coins were passed down, collected, and cherished, but one particular specimen stood out from all the rest. This specific coin was believed to be the very first one struck, preserved in pristine condition for more than 200 years. It had sharp details, reflective surfaces, and an amazing lack of wear. This coin became the star of the numismatic world. In 2013, it was sold at auction for an incredible price, $10,016,875. This set a new world record for the highest price ever paid for a single coin, making its owner an instant millionaire many times over. The story of the $10 million 1794 flowing hair dollar is a perfect example of what makes a coin a true treasure. It has everything: extreme rarity, immense historical significance as the first of its kind, and an unmatched state of preservation. Owning this coin is like owning the cornerstone of America's monetary system. It is a tangible piece of the nation's birth, a metallic witness to the dreams and ambitions of the founding fathers. Its incredible value comes not just from its silver content, but from the powerful story it tells about the beginning of a new nation and its currency. The tale of the 1933 St. Gaudens double eagle is, honestly, one of the most fascinating and mysterious stories in all of numismatics. Back in 1933, the United States was deep in the Great Depression. To stabilize the economy, President Franklin D. Roosevelt issued an executive order that took the country off the gold standard. He recalled all gold coins from circulation so they could be melted down into gold bars. Now, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia had already produced 445,500 of the new 1933 dated $20 gold coins, which are known as double eagles, but following the president's order, nearly all of these beautiful coins were dutifully sent to the melting pots. However, a few of these coins actually managed to escape the mint. The exact story is still shrouded in mystery, but it's believed that a mint cashier named Israel Swit illicitly swapped some of the 1933 double eagles for earlier dated gold coins, then sold them to a handful of collectors. The government quickly learned about their existence and declared that, since these coins were never officially issued as money, they were considered stolen government property. Secret Service agents began this decades-long mission to track down and seize every single one of these so-called forbidden coins. For years, any 1933 double eagle that surfaced was confiscated, and there was no compensation. Interestingly, one of these coins ended up in the collection of King Farouk of Egypt, who was a famous and prolific collector. He had actually obtained a legal export license for the coin before the government realized its special status. When Farouk's collection was auctioned off in 1954, the U.S. government requested that the 1933 double eagle be withdrawn from the sale. After that, the coin just vanished for over 40 years. It resurfaced in 1996, right in New York, where it was seized by federal agents during a sting operation. After a lengthy legal battle, a unique settlement was finally reached. The coin would be sold at auction, with the proceeds split between the government and the private dealer who had it. In 2002, this single 1933 double eagle, the only one the U.S. government has ever deemed legal for a private individual to own, was sold at auction for a staggering $7.59 million. The buyer was required to pay an additional $20 to the U.S. Mint to officially monetize the coin, making it legal tender. Honestly, this coin story is like a Hollywood thriller, a presidential order, a secret escape from the mint, a king's collection, a mysterious disappearance, and a dramatic legal fight. Its value comes from its incredible rarity and its one-of-a-kind legal status, making it one of the most famous and desirable coins in the entire world. Known far and wide as the king of American coins, the 1804 draped bust dollar is, honestly, one of the most famous and sought-after rarities in numismatics. Its story is pretty peculiar, because no silver dollars with the 1804 date were actually struck in that year. The U.S. Mint had stopped producing silver dollars in 1803, although they used dies dated 1803 for a few months into 1804. So, where did these legendary coins come from? Well, the answer lies in diplomacy. In 1834, the U.S. State Department wanted to create special sets of coins to be presented as diplomatic gifts to foreign heads of state, including the Sultan of Muscat and the King of Siam. The Mint was instructed to create proof sets containing one of each coin, then in circulation. The problem was that the silver dollar and the $10 gold eagle were not being made at that time. Mint officials, looking at their own records, mistakenly believed that the last silver dollars were struck in 1804. So they created new dies with the 1804 date and struck a handful of beautiful proof dollars specifically for these diplomatic gift sets. These coins, known as Class 1 1804 dollars, were never intended to be spent as money. They were made as special presentation pieces, and only 8 of them are known to exist today. The story gets even more complicated. Years later, in the 1850s and 1860s, some enterprising mint employees realized how rare and desirable these 1804 dollars had become among collectors. They used the original dies to secretly strike a few more specimens to sell to their collector friends. These later strikes are known as Class II and Class III 1804 dollars. The single known Class II coin was part of the Mint's own collection and is now in the Smithsonian Institution. The Class III coins, which have slightly different features, also made their way into the hands of prominent collectors. In total, only 15 genuine 1804 dollars are known to exist across all classes. Because of this strange history and extreme rarity, the 1804 dollar has always commanded immense prices. Every time one of these coins appears at auction, it is a major event. The finest known example, the Sultan of Muscat Waters Pogue specimen, has been involved in sales reaching near the $10 million mark. Owning an 1804 dollar is the ultimate prize for a collector of American coins. It represents not just a rare date, but a fascinating story of diplomatic missions, historical mistakes, and intrigue within the walls of the U.S. Mint itself, truly earning its royal title as the King of American coins. Before the U.S. Mint was established, the young American states experimented with their own coinage. In 1787, a talented New York goldsmith and silversmith named Ephraim Brasher made his mark on numismatic history. Brasher was a respected citizen, and he even lived next door to George Washington for a time. He petitioned the state of New York to produce copper coins, but his proposal was rejected. Undeterred, Brasher went on to strike a small number of beautiful gold coins on his own. These coins, known as Brasher doubloons, were not official government money but private issues, and they have become legendary treasures. The design of the Brasher doubloon is rich with American symbolism. One side features a majestic eagle with a shield on its chest, clutching an olive branch and arrows, similar to the Great Seal of the United States. Brasher's distinctive hallmark, the letters EB inside an oval, is punched right onto the coin. Most famously, he placed this punch on the eagle's breast on one specimen, and on the eagle's right wing on the others. The other side of the coin shows a sun rising over a mountain peak, symbolizing a new beginning for the young nation. The detail and artistry of these coins show that Brasher was a master of his craft. Only a handful of these gold coins are known to exist today, making them incredibly rare. The most famous of them all is the EB on breast variety, of which there is only one. This unique coin is arguably the most important and desirable coin in American colonial numismatics. Its story captured the public's imagination, even being featured in the classic detective novel, The High Window, by Raymond Chandler. For collectors, the Brasher doubloon represents the spirit of early America, a time of independence and individual enterprise, even in the creation of money itself. Like other millionaire coins, the Brasher doubloon has a history of jaw-dropping auction prices. Whenever one of the few known specimens comes up for sale, it attracts the wealthiest and most serious collectors in the world. The unique EB on breast example, and the other EB on wing varieties, have sold for millions of dollars. In one transaction, a Brasher doubloon reportedly sold for close to $10 million. The coin's immense value comes from its extreme rarity, its connection to a pre-federal America, and the personal touch of the man who created it, Ephraim Brasher. It is a private treasure that became a national icon. What transforms a simple piece of metal into an object worth millions of dollars? It is not just one thing, but a combination of several key factors. The most important factor is rarity. A coin can be rare for many reasons. Perhaps only a very small number were originally minted, like the 1794 flowing hair dollar. Or maybe a large number were made, but nearly all were melted down or lost over time, like the 1933 double eagle. Sometimes a coin is rare because it has a mistake, known as an error. For example, a coin might be struck on the wrong type of metal or have a doubled image. The fewer a coin's surviving examples, the more collectors will compete to own one. History is another crucial element. A coin that is tied to a significant person, place, or event becomes much more valuable. It is a physical link to the past. The 1804 dollar is valuable not just because it is rare, but because of its fascinating story involving diplomatic gifts for kings and sultans. The Brasher doubloon connects us to a time before the U.S. Mint, when a private citizen like Ephraim Brasher could create his own gold coins. These stories are what capture the imagination. A collector who owns one of these coins feels like a custodian of history, preserving a tangible piece of a great story for the next generation. The condition, or state of preservation, of a coin is also critically important in determining its value. Numismatists use a grading scale that ranges from poor, worn smooth, to perfect mint state, as flawless as the day it was struck. Two coins of the same date and type can have vastly different values based on their grade. A common coin in average condition might be worth a few dollars, but a perfect, pristine example of that same coin could be worth thousands. For the ultra-rarities, condition is everything. The 1794 dollar that sold for $10 million was valuable because it was the best preserved specimen known to exist. Finally, the value of any coin is driven by demand. There must be a community of collectors who want to own it. The most famous coins have a legendary status that creates enormous demand. Generations of collectors have read about the 1933 double eagle or the 1804 dollar, dreaming of one day seeing one in person, let alone owning one. This high demand from a limited pool of wealthy collectors and investors pushes prices into the stratosphere at major auctions. It is this powerful combination of extreme rarity, compelling history, superb condition, and intense demand that creates the perfect recipe for a millionaire coin. You do not need to be a millionaire to enjoy the wonderful hobby of coin collecting. In fact, most collectors start small, often with coins they find in their own pocket change. The most important first step is to be curious. Look closely at the coins you use every day. Notice the different designs, dates, and mint marks. A mint mark is a small letter that tells you where the coin was made. For example, P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. You might be surprised to find an interesting or older coin just waiting to be discovered. This simple act of observation is the beginning of every great collection. As you start your journey, it is wise to choose a specific area to focus on. The world of coins is vast, and trying to collect everything at once can be overwhelming. You could start by trying to assemble a set of Lincoln cents, one from every year. Or maybe you are interested in the state quarters program, collecting one for each of the 50 states. You could also collect coins that feature your favorite animal, or coins from the year you were born. By narrowing your focus, you can learn a great deal about a specific series and feel a real sense of accomplishment as your collection grows. Arm yourself with knowledge. This is the most valuable tool a collector can have. Get a copy of a good coin guide, like a guidebook of United States coins, the Red Book, which is updated every year and provides a wealth of information and approximate values. Read books, browse websites, and consider joining a local coin club. In a coin club, you can meet other collectors, share stories, and learn from their experiences. Most experienced collectors are happy to share their knowledge with newcomers. Never be afraid to ask questions. That is how we all learn and grow in the hobby. Finally, remember to handle your coins with care and enjoy the process. Always hold a coin by its edges, as fingerprints can damage its surface over time. Store your coins in safe, acid-free holders, albums or flips designed for numismatic use. The goal is not just to acquire coins, but to preserve them. Every coin in your collection has a story. Whether it is a common penny or a rare silver dollar, it has traveled through time and hands to reach you. Take pride in your collection, enjoy the thrill of the hunt, and appreciate the history you hold in your hands. This is a hobby that can provide a lifetime of learning and enjoyment.